Right, hello. Welcome to the Dusty Consoles podcast, episode 12?
12,
I think
really?
it is, yeah. I know we did 10. And then there's 2 missing ones, which I fucked up. So really, it's like 14.
What one? One was the E3 one.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
The 3rd episode.
I don't remember that one.
That was the one where I tried to use 2 microphones, but rather than syncing them all up on the computer, and then didn't work.
So I'm just going to take my coat off.
Yeah, sorry.
Get rid
Right,
of
I've got a lot of
business.
games this week because it's been a while.
You go first then, mate.
A lot of these I was meant to do reviews of, and this will be explained in a vlog I'm doing, but I've been trying like new techniques and shit on videos, and I've just fucked them up. I know how to do them now, but it was all part of the learning experience. So, should we do Titanfall 2 first?
Yeah, go on then, 'cause
about
I've
it last
played
week
that.
and I finished it. I thought it was okay.
It's the best first-person shooter campaign I've seen in a while. That's all I'm saying.
So, the time travel bit
Is
that you're on
wicked.
about, yeah, like,
It's
no doubt
wicked.
that. But the first 3 missions are a factory, a sewer, then
Yeah.
another factory, and that bored me. And even though you can do all your sexy running up the wall and jumping off triple backflip headshot stuff, you don't really need to at all, do you?
Yeah,
you can play it really boring.
Yeah.
And you seem to be more effective when you be boring. But yeah, the time travel bit, that could have been a thing in its own game. I swear to God, if you meow. No, good. The time travel bit needed to be its own game, really.
Yeah. Well, did you watch? Did you watch the Zero Punctuation one?
No, I haven't yet.
He played Dishonored 2, and he said there was a time travel part in it, and he said I don't know why people haven't put this in a whole game yet, because that's the best mechanic of both the games.
They kind of have. You heard the game Singularity.
No.
Well, it's on 360 PS3. It's good. It's kind of like BioShock with a time travel
cool.
thing all the way through, and a bit of a confusing ending, but all
I
time.
quite
travel
like
stories
it though. Yeah, I quite like that kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
Time
it's-
Splitters, that was sick. I know it wasn't really time travel-y as such, but what do you want?
He's just sniffing stuff. It'll settle down in a minute. There's some. Oh yeah, the right near the end you get the auto pistol from the first one. don't you?
yeah,
That
yeah.
bit's good.
Yeah.
And
Did you like the mech stuff?
yeah,
The
I wish
time
there was a little bit more of that, to be honest.
Yeah, it was kind of... I quite disliked the whole boss battle thing. There was like a really hard one. I don't know if you had it. You know, the guy that was flying on the plane.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, that is hard.
Stupid hard, that was. But
I
it
liked
was good.
Richter, who's just Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Clone. Even the way he says, like, get to the chopper and stuff like that, it's obvious that it's a parody.
Yeah, that was the other bit I liked. Is it the one before last mission where you're on all the carriers?
Yeah.
And you're hopping to and from each one.
Although I really liked, you know, when you get kept at the end of the factory, you go right up to the top down in the 3rd mission, I think it is, and then it's like all that you climbing on all the parts of the factory, and like this big scene that's being played out, and you have to
As it goes along the conveyor belt. Yeah.
and you have to like wall run on something that's vertical. Sorry, something that's vertical, but it's meant to be horizontal, and then like you're running on top of the side of buildings. I thought that was cool, and then the bit at the end where it's all put together, and that was wicked. But you are right; it is the same structure.
The second half's really good.
Yeah.
The first half
Yeah.
is a bit mediocre, I thought. Seems to be. So I didn't get the story either, really. Seemed like that needed flushing out a bit more.
It was just kind of like lone pilot goes fucking mad, really, isn't it? But it was still good though. It kind of sequel baited a little bit, but
The stuff you can pull off, like slide in to jump to wall run.
it's
doesn't look really
a better first-person shooter game in terms of mechanics, the feel of it, and the fun of it than Call of Duty has been since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, it controls really nice.
Yeah.
Actually, we will come on to Infinite Warfare. But the campaign is really good in Infinite Warfare.
Really?
Yeah, really
Okay.
good. Probably better than Actually, it is. I think it's better than Titanfall 2.
But Titanfall, they fucked themselves by releasing it in between COD and fucking Battlefield.
Yeah.
Shit all over their own dicks.
I
there.
think someone higher up at EA must have something against Titanfall and wants it to fail and kind of demanded it released then.
But it's the same thing, like, it's got really good reviews. Titanfall all around has got really good reviews, but no one's buying it.
Yeah.
because they've released it in between two fucking
I
giants.
think it might have gone back up again, but it was 20 quid in HMV Black Friday.
Really?
So hopefully that bumped it up a bit.
It's good though, good game.
I played 2 matches of multiplayer, and I really like Titanfall 1, but I think I'm just too old for it now.
Do you reckon?
It's just so fast, and until you get into the mechs, obviously.
Yeah.
But just people are so raw and good at shooters, especially all the youngins.
Reflexes.
Yeah, I've just not got it anymore.
No.
Which I discovered when playing the remaster of Call of Duty 4 as well, and Infinite Warfare's multiplayer.
Which is a good segue.
Yeah. So a campaign again. It's been a good year for campaigns, isn't it? Shooters wise.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, so looking back now after playing that and Titanfall and Gears 4. Again, we'll go on to Gears 4.
Don't even talk about Gears to me. But,
Yeah, right. The campaign in Infinite Warfare is quite similar in that it's linear. Here's all these set pieces and scripted moments. But I really like that.
yeah.
It just appeals to me.
Yeah.
I like the action movie popcorn flick thing, but it's done in this the setting I think helps it stand out a bit. The far future, using light speed and going to different planets and stuff like that, and the cast is quite good, though the story is a bit...
in it. Your boy Jon Snow.
Yeah, he's not in it much though. He's
Really?
in it. Yeah, he's in it.
Promotional materials like proper,
Yeah.
and your boy Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor's not in it. He's in it at the beginning for like a set. He punches you in the face a lot at the beginning, and then I didn't even know I'd killed him.
Oh, really?
A bit later on in the campaign, yeah, he's just sort of in the background and gets sucked out into space when you breach a spaceship window.
So it's not like a big spoiler or anything.
Nah.
It's just a cannon fodder.
No, that's what. Because he's part of like what was it called in Mercenaries? They had the deck of cards.
Oh
deck
yeah,
of 52.
that was wicked.
That's in this.
Oh really?
So you do side missions to hunt down.
Call of
the
Duty
enemy.
has side missions.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're really good as well. But yeah, those side missions are mostly hunting down these deck of 52.
Yeah.
They appear in the main missions as well, but you don't really. Well, the side missions you get new guns and they weaken the enemy for the story missions as you come on.
Okay.
But not in a massively noticeable way, really.
Did you play veteran?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have this weird thing that I have to play Call of Duty on veteran just to feel
I
like
used to
I'm
be, yeah.
Uber.
Yeah. But yeah, the side missions, a lot of them focus on the because there's a lot of space combat in, like, I don't know what you call them because they don't exist, but I suppose like Star Wars X-Wings and
Okay.
TIE Fighter kind of dogfights, which its controls really simpler, but it's really effective in the sense of speed and that, because it's at 60 frames a second, obviously.
Yeah.
And you can pull off some quite good maneuvers, but when you lock on to another enemy, it basically just autopilots for you and you lead them with your shots in the ship. And then there's another side mission that's pretty much like All Gillied Up from COD 4, but it's in an asteroid field. And then you have to sneak onto the ship, and you can stealth around the ship if you want, taking out targets. And
Right, okay.
then it's all blowing up, and then you just jump out of the airlock into your ship.
Big set piece again.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really good... There's a really good... I think it's a main story one where you're on an asteroid. Or is it? Yeah. And it's going towards the sun. And obviously as the asteroid rotates, it goes cool side. And then obviously when the sun's on it, it's the heated
hot side,
sides. Yeah, which obviously you can't be out for too long. And it's doing it in real time. So you have to time your runs and you can sort of bait enemies out.
To get burnt by the sun and stuff,
and stuff like that.
That sounds cool.
There's a lot of stuff like that in the campaign that breaks it up. Like the stealth's done surprisingly well.
By Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Obviously you can just fuck it and go in and shoot
Gun
everyone,
blazing,
but a lot of them open up sort of new objectives in the side missions if you go stealth. More opportunities to kill the deck of 52.
Yeah. The only issue I have with Infinite Warfare is now we're in space. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Now, you've dealt with the fiery wrath of the sun. Where else can you go to make a set piece?
It only takes place in our solar system.
Right.
So I suppose they could go full on out and do what Mass Effect's doing to a different galaxy and all that. But yeah, it is.
When does Call of Duty become Mass Effect as opposed to being Call of Duty as everyone knows it?
They might do a Battlefield thing and go back in time again.
Well, I read apparently they're going Vietnam again. But I quite like that.
They've not done a full-on Vietnam one. Black Ops had a few missions in it. But yeah, I'd like Vietnam, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's one that...
I'm more than happy to go back to World War II again. I really like... As long as they make the shooting good and they make it fit like Battlefield 1 has, they've made it fun to play and not shit compared to Titanfall or, COD or whatever. But yeah.
Because Battlefield 1 feels more like a World War II game.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I know I said it in the review, but if you sat me down and didn't tell me the setting...
You'd say World War II. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I tried... the multiplayer's fine if you're into that stuff. On Infinite Warfare...
Nothing's changed, though.
No, it's similar to Black Ops 3 wall running, and though there's not really much need to do it. And that's another thing, the campaign, I think I used it twice, and one of them times was in like a set piece where you have to do it.
Yeah. How is 4 remastered?
It's not aged well, COD 4.
Really?
I was quite bored. I like the very first mission on the ship. That still holds up quite well. All Gillied Up does as well. But other than that...
They're the ones everyone remembers,
yeah, the rest of the missions are all really plodding. Here's a room with loads of cover. Guess what? There's going to be a shootout, you know what I mean? Which is something the new... kind of, looking back now, the new CODs make it less apparent that there's going to be a shootout, you know what I mean? And is more creative with its set pieces.
Did you play it online?
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's definitely a completely different pace, COD 4's multiplayer, which I like. It's a lot slower. It's not just dashing around the map as quick as you can. But at the same time, it feels like the time to kill is a lot higher. Like, literally one burst from the M16 can just take someone down in one hit. And it can be really frustrating when you're just getting shot in the back all the time. And I don't know if... I can't remember if it was actually like that. I don't remember it being so easy to take someone down. But that might be just a tweak they've made for this. They are releasing maps for free for it, I read today.
Maps... Oh, for free. Sorry. I
for the COD 4 remaster, not Infinite Warfare.
Okay, that's cool. At least they're supporting it.
Yeah. It looks really nice. It's how you remembered 4. Like,
rather than if you actually went back, you're looking through rose-tinted goggles. Yeah, that's cool.
And there's... I think you mentioned it last week, there's the odd sort of side objectives you can do in missions.
Oh, whereas you can take this route to go stealth, or you can take this route to just fucking fire
at the very beginning when you do the training stuff, there's some extra stuff you can do there.
Throwing grenades.
There's a couple of them dotted about, but none of them give you anything or alter the game. Oh, the nuke bit, that's good.
Oh, that's always good though, isn't it? Again, all the things you remember from the campaign originally played it.
But yeah, all the stuff in between, that's just plodding, boring shooting, really. And the shooting works fine. It just doesn't feel as good as the newer ones. Oh.
I think they need to take a leaf out of Assassin's Creed book.
Take a
year off and do something different. Do something that's... I know they've got 3 different developers working on it, so they have 3-year turnarounds, but it's still the same shit, different days. If they had a 6-year turnaround, imagine the fucking awesome shit they could come up with.
Yeah. I've not played Zombies on Infinite Warfare.
Zombies. It's always going to be good, isn't it? You can't... Really.
Yeah. But yeah, that's about it for COD. It's alright.
6 out of 10.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, Infinite Warfare, because as soon as that first trailer came out, the reception was gonna be shit from everyone, weren't it?
Yeah.
And I'm actually quite glad it's good.
Good.
Because I thought... Everyone says Advanced Warfare was the best one to come out in a long time. I thought that was shit.
I just thought that was the same as Modern Warfare 3. Advanced Warfare.
But
There's
with
this
him.
guy you've got to kill and you end up killing him. Brilliant.
But with exosuits.
Yeah.
And I really like Black Ops 3 because that actually felt like it took steps forward, even though...
The only thing I don't understand is why it was Black Ops 3, because it didn't really have much to do with...
No, you're
There
right.
was just a character with the same name.
And you weren't really doing Black Ops.
No.
Either, but it's just for the brand, I bet.
But yeah, you're right. That campaign was quite good.
It made some big mistakes, but that was because they were trying new things rather
which
than...
you appreciate,
Yeah.
really, don't you? You appreciate looking back on it. At the time, you're like, why is it ended like this? But yeah, definitely. Anyway, next game.
Right,
Come on.
what's on the next? Gears of War 4.
Fucking shit. Hate it. Don't talk
Have you
about it.
played it?
I hate Gears. I
Do
hate
you?
Gears of War.
Yeah. It's okay. It's one of the most okay games I've ever played. You know, because I've only just finished this. So I've been through COD, Timefall, Battlefield, and some other stuff.
In terms of shooters.
Yeah, so coming to this, it's like, yes, all right, I suppose. It's like, it's the same problem I had with COD. When there's going to be a shootout in this,
Chest high walls.
yeah, walk into a room, there's just cover everywhere, and you think, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. It's shootout.
You know, saying that, though, you can't expect a shooter game. It's branded as Call of Duty or Gears of War 4. You know, war is in the title.
Yeah.
You're going to expect shooting. You can't go, oh, we're going to play some football over here now. Oh, it's going to turn into a football simulator.
Yeah,
But it's still something else to break up that monotonous, shoot these people in the face and move forward.
But now we've been talking about it. In Titanfall 2, when you go into a room or a big open area, it's not obvious that there's going to be enemies.
The thing I liked about that is there was like some platforming sections which I quite liked, which was different to any of the... I just hate Gears of War, man. I hate it.
Yeah,
I'll play it, but I hate it.
Yeah, what I got the impression of from this is they took steps back from Gears of War 3. Like, there's no drop-in co-op, and there is if you're playing with friends. But say a randomer can't just join my game. They can sort of, but it's really shit how it's done. Like, if I wanted to play a certain chapter of the campaign, right? It searches for a game, but then it puts you in someone's game who isn't on that chapter you selected.
But near it.
Yeah, near-ish. And I don't know how you host your own co-op campaign. There's no like host option. It's just search, and then if it doesn't find a game, you can then host your own.
Right.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
The multiplayer...
Shit.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Like, in Gears of War 1, that, you know, the whole shotguns thing, in Gears of War, that was a mistake that the developers then went, all right, we'll sort of get rid of that in 2 and 3, so there isn't shotgun duels anymore. So I don't know, it's by a completely different dev, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why in 4 they've gone, yeah, let's do that again. It's like so they can do the mistakes they did in the previous game, so it looks like they've improved stuff in Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
I don't get it. The shotgun duels were never good. You know, and it feels like luck most of the time, whether you're... And I swear there's weapons you can unlock in the multiplayer that are more powerful.
What, than in the campaign?
Ooh, what the fuck? Whose phone's this? Anyway, I can go edit that out. Well, the multiplayer was on, when I... Yeah, I don't know if they're... Like I said, I played 2 games in the multiplayer and stopped. I don't know if they're... I don't think they're microtransaction guns, but I think they're... if you've played loads...
Then you get this gun,
Yeah. Because I was getting one-shotted by a shotgun. And it tells you... Like, when you get into a fight with someone, it tells you how much damage you've done when they've killed you.
Oh,
and
okay,
I shot him like twice, point blank with a shotgun. It said, you did 50% of his health. And then he killed me in 1 hit.
From this special golden shotgun it's got.
So that can fuck off.
I hate about Gears of War is that it just licks its own arse. And all of its fans lick their own arse.
Yeah.
It fucking really bugs me. It's everyone who plays Gears of War, oh, it's the best game ever. Fucking strumming the clip. Fuck off. It's shit. It's awful. I hate the game. Gears of War Judgment was awful. Absolutely dreadful, to the point where I had to physically go, I need to complete this. I just want to get through it just so I've done it and I can just fucking throw it
Move
away.
on with my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt towards the end of this.
I can't criticise it enough.
I didn't play Horde mode. Couldn't be bothered.
Horde mode's good if you got friends. I know that for a fact because I did play that. Horde mode is good for friends, but Horde mode in any game is good with friends, you know. But something about it, I don't know what it is. I just hate it. I just really hate it.
Yeah, I didn't think much to it at all. The campaign as well, the first sort of third of it, you're just shooting robots. And it's so boring.
Fuck.
Like, it leaves such a bad first impression because the first chapter drags on way too long. And you're just shooting robots in this really boring town.
I will say, Gears of War 1, right? That was good because you always had this overwhelming sense of there's something bigger and better out there than you.
Yeah,
you know,
Gears of War 1 was
hang
quite
your ass.
atmospheric.
Yeah.
And there's points in this where it's kind of harkens back to that, which is where it's at its best. And that's when you find organic enemies rather than robots. There's just something... when you chainsaw a robot, it's just not quite the same as chainsawing a living being in half and seeing blood fly everywhere.
Yeah. There's only so much chainsawing you can do before you go, well, I'm bored now.
Yeah. And they're really boring AI as well. Like, take one guess how they fight the robots.
Did they just walk at you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they do. They just slowly plod to you at cover. There's cool things as well, like... Yeah. Yeah, every enemy in the game is really... There's a cool mechanic where if you're in cover and there's someone opposite you in the same cover, you can lean over, drag them over, and then shank them.
Insta-kill.
Yeah, but they can do that to you. But you go into cover opposite someone, and the moment you hit the cover, they'll get up and just slowly walk away. And obviously, because they're bullet sponges, they get to the next cover. It's just a very slow, ploddy sort of game.
Burn it.
And there's a lot of padding. There's a lot of, help me out with this door. Help me lift this log. Which wasn't really in the first three as far as I remember.
No. Do you know, see, I think it is more Gears of War Judgment that I hate more than anything. Because Gears of War 2 and 3, they kind of focused on the story. And I'm alright with that. As long as a shooter or any sort of boring shit game has a story, I'm alright with it. Spec Ops: The Line, think about that. It's a boring game. It's a really boring game, but the story is what drives it. And again, like with the whole Dom thing in the first one, the atmosphere and stuff. But like, what they showed at E3 in the first trailers of Gears of War 4, it looked almost like a horror game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Hordes come out and you're like, well, it's boring now. I don't understand why they would lose that to make such a shit boring game with, like you say, padding in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There is elements of that, the almost horror-ish thing, but then they, like I said, all of a sudden, just loads of enemies come out at once and it just turns into this big, loud shoot-a-thon. And for a game that has a really big emphasis on its cover system, like as soon as you're out of cover, you're getting hit left, right, and centre. But there's a lot of enemies in that game that get you out of cover. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of melee enemies that just run up really fast to you, and you have to get out of cover to take them down. And there's enemies that use weapons that can go over your cover.
What, like a grenade launch kind of thing?
Yeah, it's like a grenade that flies straight forward, then drills down.
Right.
At you. So there's a lot of stuff that just brings you out of the cover, and obviously it's a game that's trying to promote that mechanic. So as soon as you're out of cover, you're getting drilled, and it's like, make up your mind, please.
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah. So that can lead to a lot of annoying fucking deaths. And it's annoying when enemies, sort of, their AI just shits itself and it starts walking slowly across the room, and you've emptied like a whole mag into them and they're not dead. It just feels like it's there to cover that up. Yeah.
I fucking hate it so much.
And the story's really... it feels lazy in a way. Like, other than the robots, the enemies you fight after that are called the Swarm, and they are the Locust. Yeah, they don't call them the Locust, but they're just the Locust revived.
Right.
Basically. And the story's basically, we've got to find out what these are. And even the characters seem confused about what the Swarm are, but you're like, they're Locust. It's so obvious they're Locust. And then later on they have the revelation, like, oh my god, it's the
Yeah.
it's the Locust Reborn, and you're like, oh fuck off.
Do you reckon that was for people that haven't played the game before, newcomers? Because it has been a while since one came out.
Probably, yeah, because the prologue's actually quite good, filling in what happened in the other ones. The prologue's better than most of the actual game, to be honest. But...
Oh, can we move on now?
Yeah,
I just hate it. Sorry.
Okay.
That looks fucking wicked.
Overcooked.
Yeah,
that's
talk
what's
about
next
that.
on the pile. Right. Local co-op is pretty much dead, isn't it? Like playing split screen at home.
Yeah.
But this Overcooked is a purely local co-op game. You can play it single player, but I've not tried it single player.
So you've just been playing it with Lisa?
Yeah, and me, Jack, and Dave played it around his as well. It can be 4 players, but it balances itself depending on.
Can
how
you
many
not play
players.
online then?
No, but I understand why that is. It's a game where you really need to not tell each other, but communicate with each other. Like, I will do the dishes and prep the food. You cook.
Okay.
And put out any fires if there's any. That kind of thing.
That
And
already
online,
appeals to me.
a lot of people don't use mics, do they? And you obviously get people joining who just want to fuck it up for you and stuff like that. Yeah, it's so simple because all you use really is the analog stick A and X, or X and square on the PS4.
Yeah.
Like A will pick stuff up, X is interact with things. So if you've got some meat on a chopping board,
You'll
X
chop
will
it up.
tenderize it. Yeah. So usually it gradually gets more complex as you go along. Like recipes get more complex, levels get more complex in life.
I've seen some where it's like 2 trucks driving alongside, and then it moves away, and you have to be on one thing to get to the other.
Ice, earthquakes, some meteors. It's stupid, but it's really inventive in that way. But mostly what you would do, so if you're playing on your own, you'll have to say you need to make a burger. You have to, and they want lettuce and tomato on it. Like some different orders come up as well throughout the level. So you have to chop your lettuce up, chop a tomato up, put them in the bun, then get your meat, tenderize that, cook it, then put that in the bun, and then put it on a plate, then serve it. Then you might have a dirty dish, so you got to do that. So when you've got 4 people, 3 or 4, you say, okay, you tenderize and chop stuff, you cook, you just serve and wash dishes.
Okay, that's cool.
You become this well-oiled machine, and you just fucking destroy it. Then you get to the next level, and there's a new sort of element added in to fuck it up for you. And you have to sort of learn that as well.
Is it like little things, but they eventually get bigger and bigger?
Yeah,
like, you know, like you're saying a burger, and then they want tomato sauce on it, and then they want mayo, and then they want... Yeah, that sounds really cool.
There's things like if a bar will come up when you're cooking something, like just again say a burger, and once it gets full it's cooked, but if you leave it a bit longer the fire warning comes on and you have to get it off the grill before it sets fire. And
how often are there fires?
Not
if
that
you work well together, not very
no
often.
Not really, no. But that's sort of when it's funner, because it all just goes to shit once you start panicking and there's a fire and then rats come in and nick your ingredients and stuff like that. It's just chaotic.
See, that sounds really, really inventive. It sounds like, you know, I'm assuming there's not exactly a story mode. It's just kind of
there is.
Fun.
It's funny as well. It starts where the apocalypse is happening and the creature it's a spaghetti monster that's wreaking havoc, and you've got to feed it to stop it, destroy, and all you can make at the beginning of the game is salads. So you keep feeding it salads, and its hunger's obviously not sated. So then the Onion King opens a portal to go back in time. So you go on a road trip and learn loads of recipes. So when the demon comes, you can feed it and it won't destroy the world. Yeah. That's the story.
See, even for a game as simple as you say that sounds very inventive and cool for the situation that you're put in.
Yeah.
For the gameplay, essentially. And that screams Game of the Year compared to
it's going in the list.
Oh, is it?
Overcooked, yeah, definitely. I've not even like I said, it gets super hard, but not in an unfair way. It's just you've got to adapt.
Yeah,
you know. I'm at the point where we're learning fish and chips at the minute, but the levels are all icy, and they're on like a what would you call it, a glacier. So you can slide and fall off.
Yeah.
And obviously it takes 5 seconds to spawn back, so that can cause a fire.
Yeah.
But so say you wanted to make chips, you have to chop potato up, put it in the deep fryer, put it on a plate, and then you need the fish as well, so you have to chop that up, put it in the fryer, put that on the plate as well, then serve it. And obviously you get in each other's way as well, because a lot of the levels kind of have a whole kitchen area, and you have to sort of scoot past each other, and obviously on ice with thin ways. Yeah, so you will fall out with whoever you play it with. But yeah, super good game, super inventive.
How much was it?
15 quid. That was for the
Really?
disc version though, and so I think the digital version, because the disc version comes with some exclusive DLC, The Lost Morsel. It's just a few, I don't know, 6 new campaign levels and 6 new
pretty
chef
cool.
characters. Yeah, I think the digital version's less than that.
Just quickly as well before we move on, when you pick your character, do they have certain buffs?
No.
Right,
It's
okay.
just
as long as you're a good
cosmetic,
player.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
some of them, like there's a raccoon who's in a wheelchair and he's a bit wider, so obviously don't pick him.
Yeah.
You know, again, in each other's way. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, like even on the world map, you're driving the bus around to go from level to level, but everyone who's playing can control it. So that turns into a wrestling match if you've got a knob in your group, and it just keeps. But yeah, really
That sounds fun. Yeah, sounds fun. I'm more than likely going to pick that up actually.
Yeah,
because I've been teetering on that for a
as
while.
well. When you start the game, the developers put a message in saying, "Please record and share gameplay. We're not going to copyright strike."
Nice,
So,
nice. That's kind of a little fuck you to Nintendo.
yeah,
really, isn't
Overcooked
it?
was one. Again, I came to this pretty late. It came out quite early this year, I think. But that was one I was working on a video for and fucked up. So, at least game it, because I wanted to this year. I wanted all the games that are in my game of the year. I wanted to have actually reviewed them.
Yeah,
But that's not going to happen now. There's like 2 in there. Well, in the short list anyway. I've got to narrow it down to 10 still.
Ooh, how many you got in your shortlist so far?
It's down to 17, I think.
Ooh,
Which is weird, because last year I struggled thinking of 10 good games, whereas this year...
even though if you think back at this, I'll think like this year. Oh, I've played some fucking shit games this year, but like you say, I bet I'll be able to actually find 15, at least 15 good games that I've played. I'm just being cynical prick.
I was going to... The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine was in there, but it's an expansion, so that got cut out. So
Yeah.
anyone expecting that.
Fuck off. Yeah, go on then. Next game.
Darksiders Warmastered Edition.
I have only played the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I've not played the first one.
You like Zelda, don't you? As
Yes.
you established. It's pretty much Zelda, but not stuck 20 years in the past.
Okay.
So, it's a lot.
Have you played the second one?
Second Darksiders, yeah.
That's just hack and slash, motherfucker. That is. So is the first one a bit more articulate, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd say that the second one's more of an action RPG, isn't it? There is dungeons
Yeah.
and Zelda-ish stuff in it. But yeah, this one, the combat's really challenging. Well, not really challenging, it gets harder later on. But it's quite simple in that you only use square and triangle. Like square's one weapon, triangle's your other weapon, but it's more about like you tap square twice, delay a little bit. That's how you do combos, you know. It's done in other games. But it is very much influenced by Zelda. You can tell, like you have basically a Nava, but it's some horrible demon thing played by Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There's dungeons. You get 4. You know, at the beginning of the Zelda, you get 4 Earth, Wind, Fire. Well, in this, it's the still beating hearts of demons. But you know, you get the wind, fire, water, and something else in Zelda.
Earth or something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you do that basically. But it's got voice acting. It looks really... Every bit of that game looks like a heavy metal album cover. Is what it looks like. It's a weird one to do, because I don't want to say, oh, it's just like Zelda, but good. That's like the just to round it off, basically. What do you want to know about it?
Well,
weird
what's
one.
different from the original to this Warmastered?
Okay. There's no loot.
What, they've taken it out?
Oh no, I mean there's no loot in the first one.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, so they put it in.
Like in the second one, you get trousers, weapons, and pretty much all the time. No?
Yeah.
There is. It's like Zelda. You go into a dungeon. There's an item in that dungeon that you use for that dungeon and the boss.
Yeah, and then therefore to progress to the next dungeon kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So it's quite linear then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's quite open and there's a lot to explore, but you know where you've got to go.
Yeah.
And you know what you're doing.
Is there a quest log or?
There is side quests.
missions?
It's kind of like Zelda. There's 4 or 5 sort of quite deep side quests, you know what I mean, that take up pretty much the whole game to do alongside the story. The dungeons are hard in the combat and the puzzles. The first one's not really, but again, it relies on the item you pick up in that dungeon, but some of them use it in quite inventive ways, and it's hard to figure out what the game's expecting of you at points. Kind of Zelda does that as well in some of the dungeons. Well, in the first one, for example, you have what is basically the Zelda boomerang, but in this it's like
something to do with the demon.
Yeah, and you can mix it with other elements, like so if you chuck it at some ice and then into an enemy, it'll freeze into fire.
Yeah.
And there's bombs as well in the dungeon, so you have to sort of hit lanterns and then the bomb so it blows up.
Yeah.
And you sort of have to combine that. So you have to make it go all the way around the room, hit 4 lanterns, then the bomb.
Yeah.
And then you got to figure out how to actually get to the opening you've just made and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's... I was about to say trial and error. It's not that.
Is there a jumping mechanic?
Yeah, you actually physically jump yourself.
That's one thing I quite like then.
There's a jump and glide.
Oh, okay,
So
cool. Yeah, yeah.
You don't do the Zelda, just run up to the ledge and it does it for you.
Yeah.
There's some.
I've always found that a little bit weird.
It's quite heavy though.
What you feel heavy?
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
which he looks heavy anyway.
You are
so-
the God of War, aren't
Yeah.
you? So. Yeah,
one of
that's
the
cool.
4 horsemen. The story's quite well. It's there.
I think I isn't it. You are wrongly impersonated or something. You're like wrongly imprisoned for something, and then
You get involved with the apocalypse. That's not actually the apocalypse. It's just angels and demons having a punch up,
right.
and so he gets tried. Basically, someone summons...
But he's the God of War.
Yeah, but what happens? Someone summons the 4 just war, but he thinks someone summoned the 4 horsemen, and they only come out when the apocalypse happens.
Yeah.
So they can punish heaven and hell, and he sort of comes down and kicks off when he's not needed.
Okay, so flaw in that is when the apocalypse happens, they come and they're like martial law.
Yeah,
So why is he being tried?
because he came down when it wasn't the apocalypse and started murdering angels and demons.
Right. Okay. So he did get framed essentially
Yeah.
then. Right. Okay. And I'm assuming you find out why he's been framed.
Yeah, but I haven't yet.
Oh, so you're still
But
playing
you do,
it? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm still
Okay.
in the middle of it.
Okay. Do you get to see the other 3 horsemen? Because you played Death in the second one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe you do at the end, but I haven't seen it yet.
Because I know in the second one it kind of overlaps with the first one a little bit.
Mm.
It's almost like you're doing 2 separate missions. And then I thought, surely they'll bring out 4 because there's 4 horsemen. And then I thought, being pestilence would be a bit shit, wouldn't
Pestilence
it?
and what's the other one?
Famine.
Yeah, just make people hungry.
Yeah. No, it's horrible to laugh at that. But
Yeah, just tempt them with a Macca's for the whole game.
run away.
It's a really well-paced game, though. I think that's why I'm really enjoying it. Like, you get new gear, not loot gear, but like you get a gun, your horse, and it comes along in steady increments, and sort of adds.
Like God of War. Ironically, like God of War, yeah.
Actually, that's what it is like, to be honest. God of War and Zelda combined into there's this boss in there that is completely a rip-off of one of the bosses from Wind Waker. I can't remember the name of it, but the one with the hands.
I never played Wind Waker.
Really?
I never played Wind Waker.
It's the only good one. That's joking. It's the best one though. But yeah, there's a boss that's a complete rip-off of Zelda, but it does what Zelda and God of War do, but better.
Really?
You know what I mean? Sort of just takes those formulas and elevates it a bit. It's like you could dismiss it. You could play it and go, this game is not original at all.
Yeah.
The only original element of it really is its art design and
The setting,
Yeah.
really, isn't it? Apart from God of War. But again, it's a slightly different setting. Well, as I say, I've played the second one. I never played the first one. But that sounds...
I think you'll like it if you're into Zelda. It's very much that formula,
Okay.
basically.
Is there DLC? Is that what you get with it? Do you get the DLC? Is it just like extra bits they've added?
Good question, actually. I'll check the back of the box. No, there's no DLC. There is DLC for 2, but you get all that.
Is it just like a remaster kind of thing? in
HD
60?
resolution and 60 frames a second.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Does it feel like you're an absolute badass, though? if you get the
Yes,
combos
actually.
right?
Yeah, the combat, you just feel like this brutal, angry motherfucker who's cleaving people in half.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's... Even though the combat's quite simple, you look good whilst doing it, you know what I mean?
There's always games... I like games that do that. Like that's why I don't like Mortal Kombat that much. I like Mortal Kombat and I love the setting, I love the lore, but I just can't get on with it because it's so frustratingly hard. If there was an easy mode, I know I might seem like a faggot, but...
Oh, there is... I was about to say, the combat in this can be quite hard. I was about to say it gets harder as you go along, but it doesn't really, because you get more health, like in Zelda.
Yeah.
But at least in Zelda, it's a pushover, isn't it? The combat mostly. At least you've got that. And the enemies look threatening, you know, as they would.
Yeah.
You know, demons and angels.
Do you fight anyone of importance in it?
No.
Do you fight God or
like,
anything?
God's called the creator and the devil's called something else in this. It's not like...
So you don't scrap Lucifer
No.
or have a boxing match with Zeus or anything?
No.
I quite like stuff like that. I quite like mythology. But
Yeah.
I noticed you... I don't know if you want to talk about this game quickly or not, but you don't like Final Fantasy, the new one.
No. Have you played it?
I have only ever played half an hour of Final Fantasy VII because I thought it was bollocks, although I do like Pokemon, and that's the only comparison I can find between them.
I won't talk about it yet because we're on Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, but this one, I really like the look of it.
Alright. The first 7-8 chapters of that game...
What? The first 7, 8 that sounds like it's the beginning.
Yeah, well, no, that gets you just over halfway.
Oh, okay.
This game goes so downhill after a certain point. It feels really rushed.
Like, to be fair, when the promotional material came out for it, you know, there was like the gameplay footage that everyone kind of just started jacking themselves off, didn't there? So they must have had to, like you say, rush out.
Yeah. The first them 8 chapters are quite good. My biggest problem with it is the combat.
And you see, that looks the most interesting to me.
Yeah, it looks good when the camera works, but most of the time it doesn't, and you might as well not have the NPCs in your part. Well, Gladius was useful, but the other two, you get into a fight, within 10 seconds, they're taken down. It just feels like you're babysitting them for the whole thing.
Maybe I won't get it then.
Yeah, I'd rent it.
Just to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, by the time, in a few months, they might patch it and the camera's fine.
Would you tolerate it if the camera
Absolutely,
was fine?
yeah.
Okay.
My other problem as well is you hold, rather than, you know, most combat games, you're tapping buttons to perform. In this, you hold. So you hold circle and he will keep attacking basically until he's interrupted or you let go. And you hold square to dodge. But it takes just a fraction of a second for that input to kick in, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So when you time it, it isn't the timing that you want it to be timed.
Yeah, it's not like press square, insta dodge, you know, like in most games. So, and a lot of the enemies in the game don't stop attacking. And it's fine when you're against 1 or 2 because you can see them and you can see their attacks coming up. But when you're against like 7, 8 enemies, it's just this mess of bodies and you can't see where anything's coming from. So you just hold square and you're just constantly like dodging. Yeah. And your MP is just going down and then you warp out to get a better view. You know, you've seen the warp thing, I mean.
Yeah, where he like throws the dagger.
So that gives you a good view of the battlefield, but then as soon as you go back in, it's a mess again.
Yeah.
And then obviously 2 of your party members gets taken down. you have to babysit them and get them up and all that bollocks. No one's coming to the door though.
No, some guy's looking at my car and I'm going to fucking stab him. Look at my beautiful car. Sorry. The thing that interests me about it was the combat, like you say, but it's shit.
Yeah,
I just don't really like turn-based apart from Pokemon. That's all that really bugs me. But they say it's kind of not turn-based, sort of kind of real-time-ish.
It is. It's pure real-time. There is a wait mode, but it's clearly not a combat system designed for that thing.
Wait mode?
Yeah, when you're not moving, it'll basically pause so you can have a look around, decide what's... But it's really not designed for that.
Okay.
It's definitely designed with the real-time fighting in mind.
It looks good. It looks really good. But
yeah,
as you say, I'll probably get a rent
the story as well. I'm repeating myself on the review, but it really does assume you've watched the film and the anime.
See, I've never ever played any Final Fantasy game really, apart from that half an hour, and I don't know anything about it other than there's some cunt called Sephiroth.
That's in 7. Nothing carries on from the rest of them.
But
so
I don't understand the lore of it, and there's something called like Blitzball or something.
That's in Zen. Like I said, not much carries over from each one.
But I'm just saying, I don't know anything about Final Fantasy other than those.
Well, 15 doesn't really have any elements.
I know there was somebody called Cloud.
There's chocobos in it, but
oh yeah, I remember chocobos. Yeah, I thought they were cool.
I don't think are Moogles in it. I don't think they are. Well, there might be, and I just sort of blanked it.
Because it was shit.
But the sort of last third, the story's quite slow-paced-ish towards the end, and then it all of a sudden just skips past all this important stuff that really needed its time taken with.
Like you said, a lot of characters die off screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of important sort of political stuff that happens as well off screen, and then some character will sort of really rush it and explain it, you know.
Like you said, it does, like the whole lads on tour thing.
It should have just stuck with that, because again towards the end it gets really sort of dark and miserable.
And you don't really want that when you're with your boy Roy. Yeah. Anyway, you've got whatever that is.
Yeah, World of Final Fantasy.
Right, so we're still on the subject.
This is turn-based.
Oh, good.
So sorry there. But it's very much like Pokemon. Instead of... Right, so you have your character, and you can be large or medium size. And then there's monsters in the game which you capture, all come in small, medium, or large size. And you create stacks. So say if you're a large character, you have a medium and then a small. And all of their weaknesses and sort of attacks and stat boosts all count as one. You're
when you
one
say
being,
stack,
basically.
You mimed something on your head.
Yeah, you literally stack them
You
on
are
each.
literally stacked on each
Yeah,
other. Right.
you can unstack everything. So then you've literally got like an 6-person party, but you're stronger in stacks.
Doesn't that just look weird?
No. Weirdly, it does sometimes when you've got like a rock monster on the top of your head, and then so it does, but it's a good mechanic.
Yeah,
I quite like it. But yeah, any weaknesses. So say you've got a medium and a small on top of you. Say they're both weak to lightning, you'll be doubly weak to lightning.
Oh, okay. So you have to manage it in terms of
Yeah.
one's weak to water, one's weak to lightning, you're weak to fire, kind of thing.
So if you're going into a boss that's going to be a fire boss, again, you don't have to be clairvoyant for this because obviously the dungeons are elements.
Yeah.
So you'd go in with something that's purely resistant to fire.
Yeah.
You know.
Does it go from the top down as well as it go from the bottom up? The damage.
No,
Or
it
is
all
it not
combines
like that?
into one basically. So you are essentially one being, I suppose, what you could say.
Right.
Does it sound confusing?
It doesn't sound confusing. It just sounds weird. Just
Yeah.
like the way it is, you're stacked on each other. And I understand the whole, resistance to everything, but it's all as one. So you don't attack differently then.
You can if you unstack.
But as a stack, you attack.
You
as
are
one.
stronger, yeah. Because say like every single creature's attack stat is combined into one, basically. But you might want to unstack if an enemy's about to topple you. Basically, knock your stack down.
Okay, and therefore damaging you more than if you were separate. Okay.
Yeah. And I think you're stunned for a turn as well if you toppled.
Okay.
I'm making it sound more confusing than it is.
Yeah, I bet if you sat down in front of it, it'd come pretty naturally.
Yeah, the game teaches you pretty well.
Is that a new game then, World of Fantasy?
Yeah, newish. Came out end of October, I think. I think it came out at the same time as Skyrim Titanfall 2, and that came out. And Xenoverse 2. All on the same day.
Which is why I didn't about that, are you?
What?
Xenoverse.
We did last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is why, again, this is one I came too late, because I had to sacrifice one game on that week. So.
To be fair, these are a lot of newish games, you know. So you've done well.
Managed to get them quite cheap. That's the thing. Warmastered edition only cost me 15 quid, and that was from Game. And they mark up everything. So,
really?
I bet you can get it for like a tenner.
Yeah. Game are they're Nazis for the game industry.
Yeah, it's quite bad.
But yeah, World of Fantasy, recommend it.
Yeah, quite happily I could. It's got it gets a lot of 7 out of 10s and 6s, and I don't see why, to be honest. It looks really nice as well. I don't know, how could you describe it? It's got a unique art. Like, if you look on the back of the case now, that's not how the game sort of look. Everyone's in like this Ghibli art style, aren't they? That's when you're medium sized.
Okay.
But it looks like, I suppose.
So it doesn't look like normal Final Fantasy then?
No. If you've played Kingdom Hearts, it looks quite like that. But the environments look really nice. Really nice. And there's just a nice sort of style to the whole thing, I suppose what you could say. And it's called World of Final Fantasy because you go to the different worlds of each Final Fantasy game. So
that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
I've only encountered the guy from the first one, someone from Final Fantasy 3, I've not played that one.
Yeah.
But there's Lightning, Cloud, Sephiroth if you've got the Day 1 edition. Who else is in it? I think Kane from Final Fantasy 4. Basically, there's a character from every Final Fantasy.
So it's almost like fan service then.
Oh yeah, Yuna I found as well. And you can summon them as well if you get their medal.
I can't remember her name. Begins with an S. Shiva.
Yeah.
Is the only one I ever remembered. And I think it's because I did the tutorial where you have to summon her. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's play something else. But yeah, it sounds good. Both, like you say, if they fix the camera in Final Fantasy 15, I'll probably try it. Because I've never played them. And that appeals to me more than Final Fantasy 15, the way you're describing it.
Yeah, it's very... It's very Pokemon, but I don't think it is a pure rip-off of it. It's...
Do you catch things?
Yeah. But
is that the small, medium, large thing?
Yeah.
So, right, okay.
So, yeah, you capture creatures. And put them in
that's
your
pretty
stack.
cool.
But it's not like Pokemon where you buy Pokeballs, you catch everything inside. It's not like... It's his own thing, basically. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
It's the thing you could compare it to.
It's a very linear game. There's a lot of places to go and explore, but they're all on... There's basically like a main path, then there's the odd sort of side route that takes you to a treasure. I've not come across any really open areas, but they look great.
For the style it's in,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, recommended.
Does that run at 60 FPS? Or?
Do you know what? I don't know.
This is what I don't understand about FPS.
See, I do notice it, but that really isn't a game that needs 60. It's on the Vita as well.
Oh, is it?
Vita and PS4, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I think it does. Yeah, the turn-based battles are a bit long. Even when you've got the battle timer up to max, it takes a while for turns to come around, but you can hold R1 to fast forward.
So you don't have to watch all the gush. Yeah, that's all right.
Which I appreciate.
That's good. Is that all your games then?
Yeah, for this, I played Dishonored 2 a while ago and got bored of that.
I really like Dishonored 1.
No,
as well.
I do. I really like Dishonored 1 as well, and I like 2, but I just got sick of, the runes to get your powers. I got sick of trying to hunt them down.
Yeah.
It just felt like they were there to pad it out, and I just wish there was a better way to get powers upgraded.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game's great. Dishonored 2, like the stealth, you spotted a bit too easily, but I wasn't playing it stealthy. I was just, pardon me, shanking people left, right, and centre.
Yeah, I play a little bit stealthy and then I just get annoyed and just fucking stab everything.
Yeah, that game would be infuriating playing it non-lethal stealth.
Really?
I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I would have hated it if I tried to play it like that.
Are you playing as Corvo or Emily?
Emily, because
that seems to be the more popular choice.
Yeah, the story seems to work better as her. But I wish I played as Corvo now because I don't really like Emily's powers.
Okay.
A lot of hers are sort of trickery powers, like doppelgangers and stuff like that, whereas Corvo's are more suited to
stabbing people in the face.
Yeah, I think they are anyway. If they're the same as the first game.
Yeah. Blink was my favourite. Blink was wicked.
Yeah, she has her own version of that, but it's basically a tentacle that sort of drags her up to the ledge.
Yeah.
But it can fuck you over so hard. Like, she just won't grab onto the ledge you've grabbed onto, and then you drop down and there's 4 soldiers ready to just fucking...
Oh, good.
So Corvo's Blink's a lot better, because
Yeah.
you just go straight to where you want to. But yeah, is there anything else? I played the beginning of Watch Dogs 2, because I borrowed that off a mate. It's alright.
Really? I hate Watch Dogs.
Yeah, so I didn't like the first, but already I like it better than the first. It's funnier. It's got a bit of cheek to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more colourful. The main character's not a depressing cunt.
I don't know why they thought that'd be a good game. I really don't. Ubisoft, fuck off. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm probably going to play it at some point, just because I have heard a lot of people say it's good. You know, it's not the best game ever. It's not going to win awards, but it's good.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of cool sort of mischief you can get up to. Like you can go in pure lethal, shooting everyone, being boring. You can go stealth, but the way I've kind of done it. Sorry, antivirus has come up saying it wants to restart. Fuck off. The way I've done it is kind of doing trickery. Like, you can phone the cops on people, pin them, like say, "Oh, this guy's murdered 2 people," you know. And then the cops come and try and arrest them. And then you can phone the cops on the cops, and then phone the cops again on them cops. And you just create these situations. And you can phone gangs as well. So pin someone as a gang rival, and then they'll come.
And they'll come and shank him up.
Yeah, so you can just create this fucking...
So you just basically have mindless fun then,
Yeah.
without having to... Which is kind of, I guess, what they wanted to do, really, in the first place. But didn't do it very well.
Yeah, there's a lot more freedom to it in this one.
Does it feel like GTA?
No.
No. Other than the fact that it's free roam and it's in a city.
I mean, I have actually been playing GTA 5 as well, the online. But the shooting's a lot better than in GTA.
I've always thought GTA 5 shooting was clunker.
Yeah.
Especially
It's crap.
after
Let's
playing...
let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I've been playing Mafia recently.
Have you?
Yeah. Shit, but...
Yeah.
The shooting's good. I think the shooting's quite good, and it's quite responsive.
Yeah, it is in Mafia.
And I think I did say that to my mate as well when we were playing it, because he was like, "Oh, I really want to play it because it does. It looks great. You know, everything looks great. The setting's cool and all this shit." And I was like, "You will get bored of it. I've seen a lot of things. People are saying it's going to get boring. You did say it was going to get boring as well." And then he played it for 3 days, and wanted me to take it back. But I just want to plough through the story now. But yeah, I did. He did say like, "Oh, this shooting feels really good," and then I mentioned GTA, and he was like, "Oh, GTA would be so much better if the shooting was like this." But yeah,
The driving in Watch Dogs is fine.
Well, it's got to be better than the first. Nothing can be worse than the first.
Yeah, it feels a bit. I can't think of a word for it. Light.
Like floater.
Yeah. But it works fine.
So you can corner.
Yeah.
Like really quick and.
Yeah.
But you slide
And you can
out.
hack nitros into any car. So you can.
I can see the logic in that.
It's quite a silly game, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, it's just having fun with itself. there's a lot of sort of references to this year in it, if you know what I
Like
mean.
Martin Shkreli and stuff I've heard.
Yeah, so it's going to date itself quite quickly, I think.
Is it like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton?
Not that I think there is, but not that I've.
So what is it?
There's stuff like email scandals and data collecting.
Oh,
and
okay.
Surveillance on the. Obviously, it will be with a game called Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And the one you mine, what's his name?
Martin
There's a
Shkreli.
mission that involves you.
He's like meant to be the world's most hated man, but
I've never even heard of him. So.
I agree with him. So basically, what he did is he hiked the price up of like AIDS medication.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
But people are like, well, why'd you do that? You're going to kill all these people. And he said, basically, like, I will sell you at whatever price you want if you contact me. And he's just said the only reason I'm doing it is to fuck over the insurance companies. But obviously the insurance companies don't like it and the media doesn't like it,
And
so they're painting him as a bad guy. Yeah,
like it
and all he's done is basically just hike it up for the insurance.
So really, people who are getting it prescribed get it for the same price they usually would. It's just costing pharmaceutical companies more to produce.
Yeah, basically.
Fair play.
And he's quite active on social media. Like he says, like, if you have a problem with me, I'm going to go on Skype or Omegle or whatever at this point. People talk to him like, I fucking hate you. And I watched this video on YouTube and there was this gay guy and he was just saying like, why the fuck would you do this? And, you know, like, you fucked over my life. You know, I have got HIV and all this. And then he's just like, explains it all and it's for the insurance company. And the guy ends up going, oh, do you know what? Like, I'm sorry. And he's just like, it's cool. And I'll just send you some pills. Just sent him in for free. He was like, yeah, I've got them coming out my arse. Like, no pun intended. But yeah, like, you know, he just gives them. He even said, like, if you're that desperate, just contact me. I'll give them you. So he says he basically loses money every day. But what he's trying to do is rather than get that, it's not a cure. It's like a sedative for it, almost.
Keeps
like
it
prolongs it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's actually using the money that he gets from the insurance company to fund the fact that he can be able to stop AIDS and stop HIV.
Yeah.
So as much as people hate him, I quite agree with him.
Yeah.
So, but.
What was next? Mafia.
Yeah,
Sort of touch on that.
yeah, just it's all right. You know, it's like you think Gears of War is. It's an okay game. It's an okay game. As I say, I love the setting because there's not many games in that setting really. You know.
Yeah.
And it kind of fascinates me a little bit. The driving shit on both settings, it feels exactly the same, apart from in one car, one specific, and it almost looks like a chewing gum. It has like really big front wheel arch, really back. It's open top, little car. Anyway, that's really nice to drive. That's the only one that's nice to drive. It's okay.
Yeah, it's open world's game, the game, innit?
Yeah, and like you said, you go into a city centre, like into the main downtown, and it feels dead. Even though there's people there and there's cars and, you know, foot's on ground, it still feels boring and empty. Apart from the Mardi Gras bit at the beginning.
Yeah,
that's at the beginning.
The elements are there for an absolutely smashing game. Like, the story's really good. It doesn't pussy out on the races.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah. And the shoot, like you said, the shooting's really good. There's a real impact and sort of weight to the guns.
Yeah, definitely.
I just needed more variety. And not be as buggy as it was.
See, for me, it's not that bugger. There's been one
recently, haven't you? So
there's
patches.
One bit where a car was floating, which was just fucking hilarious. Like, I don't mind if it's buggy and it's funny, but if it's buggy and game breaking or like immersion breaking, then it's annoying.
Yeah.
But there was just this big shootout that was happening, and this car was just flying in the air. It was hilarious. But what other games have I played? Oh, I played F1.
Yeah, what did you think?
It's alright. I think it's good if you like F1.
Really?
I got bored very quickly, but it's because I tried it. I've got to say it is a good game. It's just not my game, and I will praise it even though I don't like it.
Yeah,
like I know it's good, but I don't like it.
That's kind of how I feel. I'm not into F1, but as a game, it's really fucking good.
Yeah, it is a very, very good game, and it adds that mechanic that I wish a lot of racing games would have, that you can just reverse time and go, okay, let's try that again.
Forza Horizon 3's got that.
Has it?
Yeah.
I tried Drive. Is it Drive Club or
Drive Club's on PS4.
Project Cars? Something.
Project Cars.
Yeah.
That is a game, yeah.
Yeah, I
but
think it was that.
That's a super dad game.
Yeah,
That is,
it
like,
was
really,
shit.
Yeah,
it was fucking
too
awful.
in depth.
Yeah. F1 was good, and I do agree with you. The immersion in it's brilliant. Like when people come up to you and talk to you and say, "What do you want on this car?" and then the bloke's talking to you over the mic and that. I just tried to do everything dead quick because I just wanted to race the race.
You can use voice commands, which one of the only games I'd probably say use the voice commands because you have to use the D-pad, don't you, to reply? And
whilst driving.
Yeah,
which is hard. Yeah, I think I played 3 or 4 races.
They're long fucking races.
I did it so it was the shortest race possible.
Yeah, and it's still like 20 laps.
Yeah, it's fucking mad. But I did come first and everything, just because
Really?
because I picked the higher.
Oh, did you?
I was Red Bull.
I was Renault because I thought the better team you pick, the bigger expectations you've got.
I surpassed it straight away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my rival driver, he was like really nice to me at the beginning, and then he fucking hated me, and I just thrashed him in everything we did. But yeah, as we say, like it's a good game. I just don't like it, and I'm gonna give it you back.
Yeah.
Before I shit on it. But yeah.
Is there anything else?
I've not really been playing anything else, to be honest. I've got some games ready to play. I've just got to get them first, like Destiny the Collection.
Yeah,
I
played a little bit of the new expansion.
Oh yeah, there's a new one. It's
Rise
Sparrows as well. There's
Oh
a new
no, that's the
update
Christmas
coming
update going Sparrow Racing,
Yeah.
which people didn't like the first time they did it, so I don't know why they're doing it again.
No, I really like Destiny. I did sink a lot of hours into it, and I think with all these expansions, I think I could sink a load more into it, and it is fun. So if you're down to play,
Yeah,
then I'm down.
that's one of the reasons I've been playing is waiting for other people to sort of
Xbox though, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I literally played, I think, about 2 missions of the new expansion. That's all I've done so far. Yeah. It says there's a really good bit at the beginning of the first mission where you're kind of on a cable car and it blows up and you have to jump out and slide down a mountain. But then I thought, actually, it says a lot that that's the most exciting part of Destiny. And when most of it is just sort of boring. Not boring. It's not boring because the shooting's so good.
Yeah.
It's standard
Halo-ish
kind of shooting.
Yeah. I would say it's more of a mixture between Halo and COD, but
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I'm done, mate.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah, I can't think of.
Too busy moving out.
I've been trying to play Final Fantasy VI, but I'll do that next week because I've not even started.
You're doing a retrospective on it.
Well, yeah, for next year because it's Final Fantasy's 30th anniversary. I want to do some Final Fantasy videos.
Really?
Yeah, and I've Metal Gear's a long time coming as well. I need to do that. And what?
Metal Gear. I wish they would bring out a good Metal Gear game.
What, after 5?
Yeah, because it was below average. I felt it was all right, but they could. I mean, look at Metal Gear Solid 1 compared to 5. Like in Metal Gear Solid 3, in fact, 2 is it's all right, but 3's wicked. 1's wicked. I never played 4, so I don't know how good that is. But
4's very good.
5's just
4.
fucking pile of shit. It's probably a bit of an overstatement there. But yeah.
What the other series I wanted to do? Oh, I want to finish off Resident Evil. I didn't. I sort of took Resident Evil on because obviously I really like the games, but then it dawned on me how many Resident Evil games
There's so many, isn't there?
Like outside of the numbered ones as well, like Outbreak 1 and 2, Survivor, the light gun game on the PS2 that's actually quite good.
Yeah, and you've got Umbrella
Chronicles.
Sorry, yeah. What's the other one? Nemesis that you said. Isn't there one like called Vengeance or something?
No.
Or
Code Veronica.
Code Veronica, that's the one.
That's the
Code
next
Veronica.
one that I'm coming on to.
Yeah. Then you got 4, 5, 6, 7 to come
5, out. At least 5's a shortish game. That's not going to say much.
4's a great game, though. 4's a great game.
So is 5, I think.
That was hilarious,
unless you're playing it single player.
Yeah, that's shit.
Yeah.
Because Shiva can't do anything.
6 is dreadful, but I can't.
Actually,
7's out soon. January.
Yeah, it's January. Yeah,
I didn't realise that.
They're going way back to like horror now, aren't they? So after action shooter.
I was because I thought, okay, if I do Resident Evil leading up to 7, get them all done in time. But I thought out of it. I've only got 3 games in and about 7 to go.
Jesus. You have to do like 3 and 1.
Yeah.
You could just narrow them down. Like you could do 4, 5, and 6 in one episode.
4's quite a long game. That was deceivingly long, isn't it? 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
To be fair, there's a lot of things you can do.
It's much longer than 5.
Yeah, I know. Well, you could do 5 and 6 together. But yeah, I quite like watching those though. To be fair, the retrospectives.
I like doing them. I like doing older games more than
because new games are shit.
Yeah, video games are dead.
Porn's on the uprise. Porn gaming. Oh god, I don't really want to talk about that.
What?
I remember playing a porn game when I was a kid. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah. Right, this will probably be the last one for the year, won't it?
Probably, yeah. I'm not going to play any good games soon.
I've got stuff I want to play over Christmas that I'm not finished from this year anyway. So anyway.
We'll probably do a massive fucking 3-hour episode at the beginning of the year, won't we?
So, I did want to do a game of the year one, but since I'm doing the top 10, but it'd still be interesting to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So we'll probably do that next year. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening.